All right. First and foremost, we give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Christ. Yahweh, it's your brother, Chief Priest, Al-Azhar Ben Lawyer, aka the Guerrilla Hebrew.
It's the priest Assad.
So like, this is acting funny. Yeah, man. Lot going on right now. I'm sure many of y'all have seen this video go viral. We're gonna get into that. Some lesser known news going down south of the border, very serious as well. So we're gonna get into that in the spirit. We also gonna get into our usual, going over the history portion. We're gonna go through a few chapters in the book of Joshua. That's where we at now, in the book of Joshua. All through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, by the grace of Abba Yahweh Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushua. So, yeah, man, buckle up. This is acting funny, man. Damn. So, like, yeah, bear with us, having a little bit of technical difficulty here. Just trying to get something done real quick in the spirit. All right, Salaki, so all praises. Let's start here, man. In this video, I'm gonna be honest, this video is hard to watch. Just totally senseless violence, total lack of black life, lack of concern for the black life, which of course is nothing new. We know about it, we talk about it. I'm gonna tell you what's interesting though, and what's kind of been on my spirit the last few months is the fact that there's a lack of viral shooting videos going around. You notice that, like, it was cracking for 2016, 2017, even 2015, but 2018 and 2019 you kind of saw a decline in the killings caught on camera. So we can understand there hasn't been a decline in police killing Black and Hispanic and Native American people. That's always happening. It's always ever present. If I pull this side up, that's always ever present. Trust me. It always has been. It's something that we've always talked about in our communities. But people just, like, it's kind of like some out of sight, out of mind type of stuff. So it's like out of sight, out of mind type of stuff. So when things are out of sight, out of mind, people don't be paying it no attention. So it's really kind of cold, man. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of, unfortunately, we need to see this. We need to see that this stuff is going on, because people act like and turn a blind eye and act like it's not happening if we're not seeing it and being traumatized with the visual of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we don't have the visual, people just is, pretending like it don't happen, and it happens. It's always happening. Let's just real quick. I want to go here. This is killedbypolice.net. Good resource, I would suggest for you to check out. So you'll notice something. You'll notice some key things here. So we got 323 people as of, it was updated a few days ago, right? So already 323 people have been killed by police in 2019 already. It's crazy because they'll look at Baltimore's murder rate, Chicago's murder rate, Detroit's murder rate, LA murder rate, or the amount of people that have been murdered up to this point. And that's bad. Don't get it twisted. Black on black crime, brown on black crime, brown on brown crime, black on brown crime. All of that is bad, and we're against it, and we speak against that primarily. But we got to look at this. How many people are the police murdering, right? So it was updated a few days ago, so this sister, unfortunately, is not on there. But let's just take a look already May. You have 2 Hispanics that have been killed by police in New Mexico and Florida, right? That's who the first people on the list. We see that this is how we know who the Israelites are, who fits the curses. The first 2 people we see are Hispanic, right? An unidentified, another Hispanic was killed, right? April Robinson, her race is not identified. You got a white dude here, Isaiah Lewis' brother, Alejandro Hernandez, another Hispanic. Jose Dominguez. Look at all these Hispanic names. Y'all notice this? See, this is, but because it's crazy because you have people who would deny that Hispanics are going through the same thing that blacks are going through because there's not a video of a Hispanic getting murdered. But they're getting murdered by, as we can see here, Isaac Pineda, that's Hispanic. Ronaldo Gonzalez, Hispanic. This unidentified person, Hispanic. Alejandro Hernandez, Hispanic. Jose Dominguez, Hispanic. You notice the Hispanic names are prevalent here, right? Let's keep going. David Flores Ramos, Hispanic, right? Sohil Antonio Maharad, Hispanic. Luis Lozado, Hispanic. Akeem Brown is a brother, right? And some of these, I don't know why somebody don't have the races here. They need to get this information because, you know, it's probably a couple white boys, but mostly would be, you know, the Southern Kingdom, so-called black people, right? So as we can see here, we can take a look at who's getting gunned down the most. And it's pretty evident. You're going to see a lot of, and what's crazy is this. You're seeing Hispanic names, you're seeing black names, and you're seeing white here too. But here's the difference. White people are 60% of the population, right? Blacks and Hispanics combined are about 31%, so about half of that population. So if you're seeing white names pop up and you're seeing black and Hispanic names pop up, what you have to understand is the killing of 2 white people is equivalent to a killing of 1 black or Hispanic as far as numbers wise goes. That's how big of a hit it is to the communities at large. So that's something that's got to be factored in as well. But as we can see, it's our people that are predominantly getting killed by the police. And the police have killed over 300 people already in 2019. And we're not even halfway through the year. That's crazy, right? But our people, again, if we're not seeing the video of it, we act like it's not going on. But it is going on. It's ever presently going on. So now the videos are coming back out. Now we're seeing a lot more brutality again on videos, and it's rising because niggas start getting rocked back to sleep when it's not ever present in their face that this is what their people are being faced with. Or people have a selfish mentality to where if it's not going on in their community or to people that they know and love, they really don't care. So the Most High have it to where now these cameras are out and these things are being captured on video. Again, they haven't stopped at all. But now it's being captured on video again like it was in 2015, 2016, 2017, right? So let's just take a look at this very horrific, traumatizing video. It's not for the faint of heart. If you haven't seen it, sisters who are watching who may not, you know, be able to stomach things like this, I may turn away. I may advise that because this is hard to watch. And let me tell you something about this whole, Let me tell you something about you so-called, you hoes. I'm not going to call you black men. That bitch ass nigga, and I'm gonna speak candidly. That nigga's a hoe. That's not a man. Oh, he popped her ass. That's a pregnant woman with a black baby in her stomach who just got shot with a stun gun. He popped her ass. Somebody ought to beat the dog shit out of you, boy. Because that ain't a man, that's a hoe. Every day of the week. Right, Precept?
This is Leviticus 19 and 16.
Beautiful
Thou shalt
precept.
not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor.
He stood against the blood of his neighbor. That's why we need the law. He let this happen. That's against the law. It's against the law to let something like this happen. Where you're just not doing any, you're just sitting back laughing about somebody getting stunned with a stun gun. You see what I'm saying? Like a hoe. Crazy, right? So let's keep going. She's pregnant, right? Police said the woman was not pregnant. Hold on, why did it stop like that? Hold on. He knew the woman had outstanding warrants for previous encounters with her. So again, outstanding warrants means you can shoot me 3 times. Again, she's a woman on the ground. You're standing up and you shoot her 3 times. What serious threat was against your life? Just call it what it is. You were sick of dealing with her, so you just killed her.
Just heard the gunshots, and then all of a sudden I heard the ambulance. I really feel sorry for the family, and I hope they get some type of justice.
Paid administrative leave.
The officer is an 11-year veteran with the Baytown Police Department. As far as I know, this is the first shooting that he's been involved in.
There we go. There we go. So, I mean, there we have it. I don't even know what to say. There was no imminent danger in his life. Let's say they say she got a hold. Let's say she got a hold of the stun gun. How is there imminent danger on his life? Yeah, she was just on the. Okay, there we go. He's got it on the Facebook. Look, boom, boom, boom. He just shoots her. She's on the ground.
And he's away. He's got like feet.
And he's got feet. He could have drawn down and say freeze. That's what you're supposed to do. Tell her to freeze, right? Don't do none of that. Just kill her, man. I mean, who else is going through? Who else got to deal with this type of stuff? You know what I'm saying? Who else got to deal with this? Police say the woman was not pregnant. First, she said she pregnant. How you know she's not pregnant? Even if you go back later and find out she's not pregnant, how do you know in that moment that she's not pregnant? And you just brutalized. He didn't have to do none of the stuff that he did. Where is a female officer to come and handle her? Right? Read that, though.
This is Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 5. It says, "And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me."
This is why the Most High got to send Yahweh Shah to come save us, man. This is why. Right here. Because there's no one that's doing anything about this. Nobody. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. that this woman was just murdered in cold blood. Not that hoe ass nigga that was recording. These niggas are special kind of hoes. Right? You could easily have walked over there and at least said, hey man, you ain't got to do all that. At least. Pop tags. You don't shut your little dumb ass up. A nigga think everything is a joke. That's the problem. Until his ass head, his brains is coming out his goddamn head. Now it ain't a joke no more, right? Everything else is a goddamn joke though, right? What's wrong with a nigga, man? That's retarded. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're saying that that's a Jake cop.
For real?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
He's a black cop?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me look at the video again, but they're saying it's a black cop.
It's a black cop. But that shows you when they put on that blue uniform, they blue now. They blue now. I'm going to show, matter of fact, let me show you something. Right? They turn blue when they put on that uniform. Go ahead.
It's Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 1. It says, "Oh, that my head were waters, and mine eyes a fountain of tears, that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people." So, yeah, that's the point is, even the prophets back old, they were weeping for stuff like this. But where's the outcry for our people when they get murdered like this? There's no one to uphold justice like we read in Isaiah 63 and 5. That's why Yahushua has to come back and give us that justice, because this society ain't going to give us no justice. This society is built off the rape, rob, and murder of our ancestors and of our people still today. So what the hell makes you think that those same people who built this institution off our blood are going to turn around and give us justice? That's why we need to repent, keep these laws, statutes, commandments, and faith in Yahushua and to get true justice.
That's right. Period. Watch this. Watch this.
It's where the predominantly African American population was. There was some talk that if you shot a black man, possibly on in the police station in the shape of Africa, I don't know if that meant there was more stuff that came out about Linwood. There was a certain part of Linwood, there was a map drawn in the police station in the shape of Africa. I don't know if that meant that's where the predominantly African American population was. There was some talk that if you shot a black man, possibly they were getting special tattoos. Now, the first police gang that was uncovered, I guess there was a newspaper article, was way back in 1971. The Little Devils, who operated out of the East LA.
Well, the Little Devils, that's biblical, right?
Sheriff station. Others followed with names like the Regulators, the Grim Reapers, the Rattlesnakes, and the Jump Out Boys. The first time these police gangs or cliques really hit the radar of the media and, more importantly, of the criminal justice system was in the mid-'80s. A federal judge found that the officers at the Linwood substation were...
Now look, this is the Linwood substation, right? I want y'all to take a look at this picture. You see predominantly white, but you also see two black men, and you see three black men, one Hispanic, and one Asian here. But it's mostly white boys, right? So watch, y'all pay attention now. You got three black men, one Hispanic, and one Asian. 5 non-whites here, right? Watch this.
Altanaka, Lee Baca is currently incarcerated under sheriff, served and shot a Korean-American motorist under suspicious circumstances.
See, look, you see that? Killed one of his own Asian people. Right? And his ass went down for it too. Listen, you non-white, you running with the white, you gonna be the nigga that go down.
Found that there was a gang called the Linwood Vikings that had, the gang members all had Viking tattoos on them, and if they had shot somebody, they got to have 998 tattooed in the Viking, which is LA, I guess, police scanner code for officer-involved shooting. Aryan or neo-Nazi overtones.
Neo-Nazi overtones, but you have 5 non-whites in there, including 3 niggas. 3 niggas, a Mexican and a Korean, yet they align themselves with a police gang with neo-Nazi overtones. What does this expose? That no matter what race or ethnicity or nation you are, when you put on that uniform, you become a white person in your mind. And you have dedicated yourself to the cause of white people, which is death of blacks and Hispanics. This is evident that you can join a police gang with neo-Nazi overtones and as a grown black or Hispanic or Asian man. That's ridiculous. But they got that, they got that gang, the Good Old Boys or something like that.
Yeah. That's in the South.
No, it's all over the place.
What I'm saying, secession is they get it from the South.
And you have all races up in there, but it's about upholding good old American white supremacist standards. And you got niggas and spicks and gooks in there. Yeah. That's insanity. But it shows that they have aligned themselves. They have sold their people out and aligned themselves to the cause of the white man. Right? Precept?
First Maccabees 11 and
there
21.
You go.
Then came ungodly persons who hated their own people, went unto the king and told him that Jonathan besieged the tower.
See that? Ungodly persons that hated their own people, man. That's who these guys are. I think there's a little bit more on this.
Though Paul Tanaka was in it, he's Japanese.
Oh, Japanese.
And I saw one picture, it looked like there was a black cap in it. So, you know, there's the racism, and then there's
Look.
He's Japanese. And I saw one picture, it looked like there was a black cap in it. So, you know, there's
a Creflo Dollar.
Look at that. Actually, this brother could be Hispanic on second look, right? But do you see, we see a black dude here, seemingly two Hispanics and one Asian, and with all these white boys throwing up gang signs, right? Because they have their own gang within the police force. And this dude is an assistant sheriff, but they're all about the destruction of blacks and Hispanics. These blacks and Hispanics that are with the white man.
The racism, and then there's when you're wearing the blue uniform, you're kind of a part of that race too, I get.
He brought it out. What a lot of people don't know is this man's lineage goes back to the black man. He's black and Sicilian, right? But he's bringing it out. When they put on that blue uniform, who they are in their mind, it does matter. And when it comes down to it, they'll show you how much it matters, because you'll be the odd man out. But in the nigga's mind, or in the Latino's mind that puts on that uniform, or that Asian's mind that puts on that uniform, he's no longer what he is. He's with the white man. Because they act like the only race is blue. No, it ain't even about blue. It's about white still. All right? Read that.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And that's what they try to do. Make a go get buddy with the heathen.
Get all buddy with the white man, you know?
And it also speaks about in Maccabees, because he said that being a police officer was basically their race, right? Where is that in Maccabees? Speaks about they left, that every man should leave their own.
One in about 43 or 45.
Yeah. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 40. I'm going to start verse 41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. And it's just they all trying to come under this banner of being a so-called white man, essentially. Essentially,
yeah. And that's the best way to do it, to show your allegiance to the cause, is to put on that blue uniform and that badge. That is an amazing way to show your cause to the white man, the white devil, and his institution. Point blank, period, man. Go ahead.
2 Ezra 15 and 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness.
I raise you. How about Shem Yahushua Barakatah the water? Go ahead.
I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness.
That's right. Fop. Read.
Fop and Shalak. This is
that's right.
Fop
wash Shalak.
Yeah, 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. So the Lord is going to send a sword of destruction upon these individuals for what they have done to God's chosen people.
That's right. No way around it. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for that. We know there's justice coming, and it's justice coming in the form of a Mashiach Yahushai, his imminent reign, the mass genocide of the so-called white man, which are the Edomites according to the Bible, the enslavement of all of the nations and their subjugation to the nation of Israel for all that's happened. That's true justice. Nothing else is justice. Justice is this man's blood being shed. All right, and those that want to join hands with them being shed with their ass too, if they don't want to repent, man. That's period. This is sickening, man. If I find out a nigga did this, man, let me tell you something, man. If I found out it was a so-called black man, hold on, let me take a look. Hold on. Oh, he do look like a nigga. Hold on. Yeah. That look like a brother. It do.
Pop the.
See, but let you do this to your girl in public. You will be labeled a monster.
She's saying why? Why? I didn't do nothing to you. That's what that sister's saying on the ground. Why? Why? I didn't do nothing to you.
This stuff is crazy, man. You know, like it don't even make no sense. And then it does look like a brother. It could have been a brother that did this. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a so-called black man that did it. And of course, these police, they're so evil that they go out of their way to protect the name. See, we can find out who the woman is that died, but they're going to protect the name. I want to know about this officer. I want to know his name. See what I'm saying? But this is so filthy and disgusting, man. So filthy. Another precept?
Yes.
Read that.
John chapter, since it is a brother. John 8:44. You're of your father the devil.
See that? He was talking to so-called Israelites, so-called black men, Israelites. Ye are of your father the devil. Read.
And the lust of your father you will do.
Because you following that damn Roman. You following that white man who's led by Satan. That's who you follow. And you want to do his bidding in the earth. So it's applicable to you. Read on.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
Right? Cain. Going all the way back to Cain, that satanic spirit that possessed him, that led him to murder his own brother, the same satanic spirit that came on the nation of Edom, starting with their forefather Esau. You're following in those same footsteps. Some of you blacks and Hispanics, man. Read.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was a what?
A murderer from the beginning.
There you go. Read on.
And abode not in the truth.
There you go. He abides not in the truth. He wants to follow the lies of the white man, his ideology, his philosophy. So that's why he murders his own in the streets. And there's a lot of people without a damn badge on and a blue uniform. They may wear a blue bandana, a red bandana, right? Or they might not wear no bandana. They just hate their own people, man. Mass murder their own people. Some of these gangs, these cartels, and some of these wicked people praying and robbing. You know, I'm new here in Atlanta. I was at the laundromat. We met a sister at the laundromat. And she's telling me how a nigga hopped out on her with an AK-47 at a damn gas station for her purse. Talking about, bitch, give me your purse. She turned around and said AK-47 in her face. Why you need an AK-47 to steal a purse from a lady? Knowing, and she ain't have more than $100 in her damn purse. You robbing people with an AK-47, which is a huge chance if you get caught doing that. For what's in a black woman's purse, you better go your ass up to Bankhead or Sandy Springs or Alpharetta some damn where if you want to pull an AK-47 on somebody at a gas station if you really want to get something from some damn body. On the south side, you ain't going to get a lot, you idiot. But you hate your own people. Yep. That's what it stemmed from.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 22. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life.
So the only justice, if she is in fact pregnant, matter of fact, this is just if the baby died, not if the woman. So he's, period. The only way justice is this: the death of this man. That's the only justice.
Yeah,
according to the Bible.
You gotta kill him.
You gotta kill him, according to the Bible. So just like what we're calling for in this case of Amber Geiger in Dallas, she needs to be executed in the street in front of Southside Flats in Dallas. This Negro need to be taken outside of this place. I believe it's called the Brixton, and he need to be executed. That's justice. Outside of that, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's BS, man. But this is the reality that we got to live in. It's just incredible, man. Really incredible. Let's look at this other thing, man. I want to get into this other thing real quick, right? So you have, I got a call or a text message from Officer Nakwai Kayal from the tribe of Issachar out in San Diego earlier today, and he was on his way to work. He was listening to a Spanish radio station, and he heard about this dude Enrique Acosta, okay, which is he's a gubernatorial candidate running for office in Baja California. Okay, so Baja California, you know, Mexico got states the same way how the U.S. have states. So Baja California is the state where the city of Tijuana is. It's the border where San Diego is at, the California border, is the state of Baja California. Okay, also one of the major cartel states, okay, in Mexico. So I want to read a little bit about this. So it says, I translated it into English. So it says, proposal of the PRI, which is his political party, to govern in Baja California, implant chip to drug addicts. This is what they want to do. They want to give a microchip to drug addicts. All right. It says Enrique Acosta said that almost 80% of robberies in the state are committed by addicted people. He's out of his. First off, that's a lie. You don't have to. Everybody who's robbing people in especially Tijuana are not drug addicts. They know there's tourists coming, and they're in poverty, and they're preying upon the fact that tourists from other countries, namely America, are in a better financial situation than them, so they can come up. It's not just by drug addicts. So that's an inflation. The first statement, the thesis of this article is BS, and anybody who knows anything about Tijuana, has been in and out of Tijuana, which I have, knows that this is BS. I want to call Yash right now and just have Officer Yash speak on this, who's regularly in Tijuana. This is BS, right? 80% of the robberies are by drug addicts. That's a lie. But let's continue reading on. But see, you'll be able to smell the fumes of BS throughout this article, and it's going to expose who's behind and propping up this Enrique Acosta, another man that's a hater of his own people. Right? So let's read this. It said the candidate for the governorship of Baja California for the Institutional Revolutionary Party, Enrique Acosta Fregoso, proposed to implant a chip with medicine to the addicts as a form of frontal combat to the consumption of drugs. So he wants to combat drug use. Now here's a question. I'm going to pose this question to the chat before I go any further. What is the primary means of obtaining money by the cartels? Who knows? Come on, chat. Where you at? How the cartel get his money? What's the primary source of money for the cartel? They got multiple streams of income, but what's their primary way they get their bread? Drugs. Not just cocaine. Drugs. Coke, weed, heroin. They doing all of that. Crystal meth. Crystal meth may be the more prevalent one, to be honest with you. It's drugs. Drugs is the main way. Avocados is another way. but it's drugs, then avocados, right? Then extortion. Drugs, avocado, extortion. Those would be, and guns too, yeah. All the guns. So here we have a political candidate that's taking a staunch position against drugs in one of the primary cartel states in Mexico. You do this, Sinaloa, where Juarez is, I forget the state Juarez is in. These are like the major drug states, the ones that are the border states, because of course you have to control the pipelines to get dope into America. So these are, the real battlegrounds are the border states. So he is running for office in Baja California, taking a staunch position against drugs and saying that the way we're going to combat drugs is with microchips, right? Interesting, because I'm going to tell you right now, if the cartel do not like a politician, I want to ask again. Let me pose another one to the chat. If the cartel does not like a politician in Mexico, what do you think they're going to do? Human trafficking is another one. The cartels got a lot of ways to get their money, but dope is the foundation. Kill them, right? Like Yashai said, if they're going to knock a nigga off if they don't like them. So here we have again, we have to analyze this. Here we have Enrique Acosta taking a staunch stance against drug, which is in direct opposition of the cartel's agenda. So if the cartel does not knock this nigga off, what does that tell you? That he's backed by somebody that is even more powerful than the cartels. And who is more powerful than the cartels who sticks their nose across that border? It's called the United States government. Because little do people know, the United States government works directly with the cartels to ensure the flow of drugs and guns across that border. This is a fact. So if there is a political person south of the border that's pushing something like this and he's not getting killed by the cartel, you have to know that the United States government is backing him, and that's why cartels are not making moves on him. That's the only reason. Everyone knows top guys in the cartel have CIA contacts, have somebody in the CIA that they're working directly with. So again, if this nigga does not get knocked off, you know he's backed by the United States government. Period. So it's no wonder why he's coming with an implantable microchip that he's proposing to stick into Mexicans who are Israelites from the tribe of Issachar. It's no secret. There's a reason for this. They're utilizing Issachar as a guinea pig. It's what they want to do. It's what they've been wanting to do. Because they also are proposing implantable microchips to immigrants, so immigrants can't come in on visas and overstay their welcomes. They've been wanting to use Mexicans as guinea pigs for the RFID chip for the mark of the beast. They haven't been able to do it through the immigration system, so now they're one of their own Mexicans doing it to propose it. They were going to try to do it to the Haitians in the Dominican Republic, but by the grace of the Most High, that program wasn't able to go through. So this is the new proposed program. They want to use us as the guinea pigs for this, because this is predominantly and primarily designed for us, to destroy us, to kill us, and also to disqualify us from being saved by Hamashiach upon his return and not having to suffer the fate of the lake of fire. Matter of fact, give me that no hands on the hand real quick.
This is Proverbs chapter 11. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
Though hand join in hand, the damn wicked shall not be unpunished. Analyzing this from if you take that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. That is the ultimate hand joining in hand. That is the ultimate allegiance to this damn white man. So you are going to fall right with him, because if you take that, you have allied yourself with this damn devil. Period. So, but what they're doing is, with this chip, there's all kind of things they can do with this chip. They're saying, yes, it can have your identification information. It can have your medical records. It can be able to track you if ever you're missing or kidnapped. It can put medicine into you, which is what this is. It can keep your vitals in contact with medical professionals to know if you're slipping or what you need in your diet. They're trying to show you these are all the benefits of getting this chip, because they're marketing it to you in a way that's sellable. They want you to accept it. They don't want to force it on you. Not at first. They want you to just accept it and pledge allegiance to them through the acceptation of said device. Then they implement it, then they make it mandatory where if you don't accept it, you're going to be SOL and you're not going to be able to engage in commerce, which means you're going to have to live off the grid, which they're making that illegal, which they're going to be rounding niggas up and putting them in FEMA camps for that. Why do you think they're building FEMA camps? Then they use Mexicans as the first guinea pigs for the FEMA camps. That was last year with the big immigration debacle and the little kids in the cages. See what I'm saying? All that's happening, and they're using us as the guinea pigs, man. All right? So he's marketing this. He's marketing this as, okay, and they already did it. In 2017, they chipped 60 people in Guadalajara, which is a state there in Mexico. They chipped 60 people. Right? So now they want to chip more people. And they say it's gonna release a drug that combats drug addiction. Another drug to fight other drugs, whatever. It's madness. So give me the mark. Give me Revelation 13, Revelation 14. Bible Hushai.
So Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13, and I'm going to start at verse...
Yeah, Ayan, like you said, because the Pets was the first one. The Pets was the original guinea pig. Now you can find your pet. Now not only can you find somebody, you can get medicine treatment, not have to remember to take pills. They got the birth control chip, so you can go be a hoe, and you got this chip in you, and you can let niggas shoot your club up all day damn long, and you're not gonna get pregnant. You see how all they're finding all the different ways that they can market this to people and saying, well, all you need is this one simple chip, and you have the option to have all of these various benefits, right? No, the American dollar is not the image of the beast. There are a multitude of countries that don't even accept the American dollar. Right now, you can buy and sell in the United States of America with the Bitcoin that is unrelated to and unpinned to the United States dollar. So no, the American dollar is not the image of the beast. The image of the beast is the ideology of white supremacy that began with the painting of Caesar Borgia's Christ and the ideology that followed that, which is blonde hair, blue eyes, and all the various things that goes with white people being the principal people on earth. That whole philosophy, that is the image of the beast. We deal with image in the Greek is the word icon. So it's literally looking at the beast, which is the white man, and in particular the Western European and by extension American white man as your icon, as the people you want to conform to their way. That's the image of the beast. Okay, and the mark is the physical thing. The ideological thing is the image, and the mark is the physical thing, which is the radio frequency identification chip. All right, so now let's go there.
Revelation 13 is 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads.
Yeah, good point, Yeshaya. Marking it to kids, so, if your kids get kidnapped, you can find them. They missing, you can find them, right? Read.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Read on.
Here is wisdom. Let him that
that mark that enables you to make commercial transactions after we move into a cashless society. We're already on the way. If you take your credit card out, your debit card out, right? What's in your debit card? An NFC chip. This is all the precursor here. You got NFC chips in your credit and your debit cards. These NFC chips now, they tell you what, average place you go to tell you what, don't swipe. Don't swipe. Stick the chip in because the chip is more reliable than the swipe, right? But this is an NFC chip. RFID chip is smaller, more sleek, and higher technology than the NFC chip that you see that's bulky in your goddamn credit card. So what they're going to say is, okay, now the NFC chip is problematic, so now we're going to put the RFID chip. But now we ain't going to put it in your car, we're going to put it in your ass, right? That's what's happening. That's what the mark of the beast is. Read.
Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding.
Listen, Isaiah Martin, that's problematic. Christ said out of his own mouth that there is something that cannot be forgiven. So it is too late. If you blaspheme the Holy Ghost, it is too late for you to repent because you already did it. Right? So brothers who say that, that's rhetoric and that's not backed by the Bible. We got to look at the Bible. All right? And what the Bible says. The Bible says there's things that can't be repented from. And the Bible says there's things that cannot be forgiven. That's the word of the Lord. Right? Read.
Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man. And his number is 600
Why is it 600 Because it's 66.6% of the Israelites that will be conformed to that image. That's why that's his number. 2/3. So you can understand, right? Go ahead.
Okay, now this is Revelation chapter.
Yeah, they call it chip. And I remember I thought they was chipping kids, but they're not chipping them yet. That don't mean they're not going to. That do not mean they're not going to, right? And I believe that they are, right? So read.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image.
If he worship the beast, that's an action. You have to be continually doing that. You can stop worshiping the beast and not be guilty of this, right? Because we know at one point or another, many of us did worship the beast through going to the Christian church, right? Read on.
Worship the beast and his image and receive his mark.
Well, Eddie Chavez, it is about the opioid epidemic, but that's what it is about. Specifically, the drug is about combating opioid craving. So it is about the opioid epidemic. But notice they're targeting the opioid epidemic in Mexico and not in the United States of America. That don't even make no sense. But why are they doing that? Because they want to target the Israelites, God's chosen people, and utilize us as guinea pigs per usual. Just like they were testing them weapons. If you look at the Panama deception, they used Panama as guinea pigs for all these high-tech weapons that they had, and they were just mass murdering the tribe of Zebulon and Benjamin down there in Panama, right? I know a brother that was in Panama at that time. He said, we was out of school for a few weeks. When we go back, there was a lot of niggas in my class that wasn't there no more because they died, right? So go ahead.
It says, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hands. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
That's what's going to happen if you receive them. Read it again, please.
Revelation.
Because it's the key part. Read.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God.
No, before that.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast.
If any man worship it, right? If you're actively worshiping this beast, read.
And his image.
Or the image and or image conform to the ideology and philosophy of white supremacy. Read.
And receive his mark in his forehead.
And receive that mark. If you ever receive that mark, read.
Or in his hand. The same
shall... In his hand, ambiguously, either hand or in his head. Read.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God.
See that? The same shall drink of it. So if you receive that mark, you have to drink of that wrath, which lets you know it's not ideological, that it's a physical, literal thing, which is the RFID chip. That is it. Read.
Which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone.
Meaning you're going to die here in America. Read, because the beast that it's pursuant to is in specific America, which is why we know the American government is who is behind Enrique Acosta, this sellout. Read.
In the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
And the angels and the Lamb are just going to watch that happen. Right? Julius Israel, exactly. That was horrible, that Panama deception. Right? So that's wild, man. But that's what's going to happen. This is why they trying to prop and use us as the guinea pigs for this stuff, man. Right? Because it's really about us. It don't matter. The white man can know about the RFID chip all he wants. He gonna die regardless. It's for us to know. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. right? They could easily start giving it to parolees, early jail release. Use that as an incentive, right? Look for that. Look for they putting in the old folks. Like I said, immigrants, Native Americans. Oh, look, you want to receive your benefits? People who are on food stamp welfare. Oh, you want to receive your benefits here? We switching. Just like they went from food stamps to the card. Don't be surprised if and when they go from the card to the chip. Right? It's a part of prophecy. Right? Precept.
2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
We're not ignorant. We understand how Satan is moving because the Most High put it here in the Bible, so we understand what the mark of the beast is and how it's going to be used. Now, if you're not of the school of thought, blasphemy is a filthy lie. Okay? So just look up the definition of blasphemy and take that and anything like that towards the Holy Spirit. That would be what that is. Right? So, whatchamacallit? Yeah, but this dude is not from Spain. The guy that they got, Enrique Acosta, I just showed it to you. He's a dark-skinned man. He's not Spanish at all. Right? So, we have to understand, just like the white man controls Haiti, but there's no white man that's the president of Haiti. Does that mean that the white man don't still control it? Yeah, they could control it behind closed doors. They put a puppet in power that looks like you and that you can relate to, and they utilize him for their agenda. That's the best puppet. Is the one that look like you versus the one that don't, right? What was I gonna say? But yeah, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, so we understand it. But if you're not of the school of thought that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, you better not take it regardless. Whatever you do, don't take that chip because it's against the law to take it, right? Veterans, military people, kids getting in school, exact, all of that. Don't take that chip, right? Go ahead, precept.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. All right, that's fine. I'm gonna find it, but in the meantime, this is Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies.
That's right. You're gonna be seeking out the truth, and you're gonna try to find and get to the bottom of these prophecies, man. And it's pretty clear through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Right? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 1. Yeah, so even if you don't think the chip is the mark, you shouldn't take it. And here's why. Deuteronomy 14:1. Ye are the children of the Lord your God. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. So,
right. So you're not supposed to take that mark because it's a violation of the law of God. So don't do it. Period. So now we're gonna move on to our history portion. So let's go to the book of Joshua 5. We'll read 5, 6, 7, and 8 in the book of Joshua.
This is Joshua chapter 5. It says, and it came to pass when all the kings of the Amorites.
That 7 heaven things, Lamont, is not in the Apocrypha. All right, that's not there. Go get you. Open your Apocrypha up. It's not there. Right? Read on.
It says, and it came to pass when all the kings of the Amorites, which were on the side of Jordan westward, and all the kings of the Canaanites, which were by the sea, heard that Yahweh had dried up the waters of Jordan from before the children of Israel.
So we crossed Jordan the same way like we crossed the Red Sea coming out of Egypt through the priests having the Ark of the Covenant, right? Read on.
From before the children of Israel until we passed over, that their heart melted, neither was their spirit in them anymore.
Man, they turned into hoes, quite frankly and plainly. They got scared when they heard about how we just walked over a river dry shod. That was frightening. If you seen somebody walk over a damn river, your ass gonna be scared too. You ain't gonna want to mess with them too, right? To the brother in Gardena, man, brothers being in Long Beach and the IE, somebody hit him off with the email. Hit him off with the email. Somebody's gonna send you the email for real deal, and somebody gonna hit you off with the email and just email in and we'll correspond with you that way and get you what you need to know. But brothers being San Bernardino and Long Beach, right? Read on.
Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 25. This day will I begin to put the dread of thee and the fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heaven, who shall hear report of thee and shall tremble and be in anguish because of thee.
They scared as hell. Sean Antonio, that's fine because you're not teaching, you're just listening, so that wouldn't be wrong. It's wrong for you to do that and then to teach, but if you're just listening, that's cool. Go ahead.
It says, neither was there spirit in them anymore because of the children of Israel.
I mean, they was straight scared, man, petrified of the children of Israel because of how Yahweh was magnifying us and the marvelous works that he was empowering us to do. It's all through him. We're not doing that now. Why? Because we're not pleasing him. So he's not having that grace on us to that level. But the crazy thing is, a lot of heathens are still scared of us. Just even in him rejecting us, there's still a little bit of that spirit on us, enough to make some heathens scared even now. Read.
At that time, Yahweh said unto Joshua, make these sharp knives, and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time. And Joshua made him sharp knives, and circumcised the children of Israel at the hill of the foreskins.
So now, there's a circumcision that goes on, right? Read.
And this is the cause why Joshua did circumcise all the people that came out of Egypt, that were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness by the way, after they came out of Egypt.
Go ahead.
Now all the people that came out were circumcised, but all the people that were born in the wilderness by the way, as they came forth out of Egypt, them they had not circumcised.
They hadn't circumcised people. So wait a minute. I thought, now according to the Christians, you have to be circumcised the 8th day. These are grown men. So the Israelites that go and take the land, the first Israelites that established Israel, they weren't circumcised the 8th day. This is showing you they didn't circumcise in the wilderness.
That's a monster cut, bro.
That's crazy. So Joshua just like, all right, look, Most High said, okay, cool, we're gonna circumcise all you niggas now. So you have people going to the wilderness, they weren't circumcised, which gives credence to in the New Testament when brothers ain't circumcised until they spiritually are coming into the land, coming back into their knowledge of being Israel. But go ahead.
So according to that moronic Christian's logic, the only Israelites at this time were Joshua and Caleb.
There are only 2 Israelites. Come on, man.
Oh my goodness. Now all the people that came out were circumcised, but all the people that were born in the wilderness by the way as they came forth out of Egypt, them they had not circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the people that were men of war, which came out of Egypt, were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of Yahweh, unto whom the Lord sware that he would not show them the lands, which the Lord sware unto their fathers, that he would give us, a land that floweth with milk and honey. And their children, whom he raised up in their stead, them Joshua circumcised, for they were uncircumcised, because they had not circumcised them by the way. And it came to pass, when they had done circumcising all the people, that they abode in their places in the camp till they were whole. And Yahweh said unto Joshua, this day have I rolled away the reproach of Egypt from off you. Wherefore the name of the place is called Gilgal unto this day.
So the circumcision was getting rid of the reproach of Egypt, right? So it shows you how important circumcision is. If you're not circumcised and you call yourself an Israelite, you better get circumcised, right? Read on.
And the children of Israel encamped in Gilgal, and kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at even in the plains of Jericho. And they did eat of the old corn of the land on the morrow after the Passover, unleavened cakes and parched corn in the selfsame day. And the manna ceased on the morrow after they had eaten of the old corn of the land, neither had the children of Israel manna any more, but they did eat of the fruit of the land of Canaan that year. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, art thou for us, or for our adversaries? And he said, nay, but as captain of the host of Yahweh am I now come.
What does that let you know? That's an angel.
Yeah.
Joshua walks up to an angel. Are you with us, or are you with our enemies? Guess what this also shows, though? This shows that there was a similar look amongst these people, because he don't know if this is a Canaanite, he with the Israel, who is dude? Let me holler at him, right? Read.
Come.
And it's the angels as well. Go ahead.
And he said, nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship.
He said, oh, this is an angel of the Lord. Read.
And said unto him, what saith my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of Yahweh's host said unto Joshua, loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy.
Same thing like he told Moses. Read.
And Joshua did so. Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel.
One second. Go ahead.
Joshua chapter 6 verse 1. Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests, and said unto them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of Yahweh. And he said unto the people, Pass on and encompass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Lord. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the people, that 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns passed on before the Lord, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. And the armed men went before the priests that blew with the trumpets, and the reward came after the ark, and the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, Ye shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth, until the day I bid you shout, then shall ye shout. So the ark of the Lord compassed the city, going about it once, and they came into the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. And 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually and blew with the trumpets, and the armed men went before them. But the reward came after the ark of the Lord, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. It says,
So we're keeping up here. The angel says, get 7 priests. They need 7 trumpets and bring the Ark of the Covenant. We're going to circle Jericho for 6 days. On the 7th day, we're going to blow that, and the walls of Jericho are going to fall. All right. Read on.
Okay. It says, and the 2nd day they compassed the city once and returned into the camp. So did they 6 days. So they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time, when the priests blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, Shout, for Yahweh hath given you the city. And the city shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein, to Yahweh. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that were sent.
Deuteronomy 6:4. Nobody told you to worship Christ, so stop lying on people. Thank you. No one worships Christ. Shut up and stop bearing false witness. Thank you. Read.
Come. It says, okay, verse 18. And
wait a minute. Hold on. Read this. Go ahead. Go back there.
The angel, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
so Deuteronomy 6:4. Answer this.
Yep.
Read.
This is Joshua chapter 5, verse 14. And he said, Nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship.
So at Joshua worship an angel. Can you explain that?
I was going to say something, but I didn't know if you even wanted to address the guy.
Yeah, let's break that down for me. Deuteronomy 6:4.
Where's she? Yeah, I was just about to go and cue the music.
Oh. Now, mind you, we didn't block him. I removed that comment. I didn't put him in timeout or block him, though. My dude, where you at? Nah, I ain't time him out. I just removed him. I ain't time him out.
Come on, bro. You have to hit the daily double.
Now, I ain't saying to worship nobody but the Most High, but I need you to explain that in the Old Testament, pal. And fast.
He's out. Is he still in?
Man, did he right now? I didn't. Listen, I'm telling you, I
No,
didn't.
you can check to see if he's in there though still, can't you?
Let me see, dude. No, he's in here. He's in here. What's up? Why you quiet? Why you quiet, homie? Come on now. He's in here still. Oh, he's ducking.
Just gonna try to hit and run, bro. Golly.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
He's
All right, Sway. Deuteronomy 6:4. Change your name to Sway, brother,
Yeah.
and try again.
Or-
Yahweh
or-
Shah said, "Worship Yahweh." That's who we worship. Period. Go ahead.
Or Larry Merchant or something.
Larry Merchant of the Torah, man. Stop. Go ahead.
It says, Joshua chapter 6, verse 18, and ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest ye make yourselves accursed when ye take of the accursed thing.
Right, meaning the idols and the various things like that they were going to have up in Jericho, because of course they were idolaters. Right, read.
And make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto the Lord. They shall come into the treasury of Yahweh.
So yeah, the stuff that's not dedicated to their idols, you know, the things that we can put into the treasury, we're gonna put into the treasury, and that's gonna build our wealth, right? That's gonna establish us, and you know, give us monetary gain and monetary power as a nation, right? So we robbing people.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened. Yeah. It's our history. Go ahead.
So the people shouted when the priest blew with the trumpets, and it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. But Joshua had said unto the two men that had spied out the country, Go into the harlot's house, and bring out thence the woman and all that she hath, as he swore unto her. And the young men that were spies went in and brought out Rahab and her father and her mother and her brethren and all that she had, and they brought out all her kindred and left them without the camp of Israel. And they burnt the city with fire and all that was therein. Only the silver and the gold and the vessels of brass and of iron they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord. And Joshua saved Rahab the harlot alive in her father's household and all that she had, and she dwelleth in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. And Joshua adjured them at that time, saying, Cursed be the man before Yahweh that riseth up and buildeth this city Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof in his firstborn, and in his youngest son shall he set up the gates of it. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country. It's Joshua chapter 7, verse 1. But the children of Israel committed a trespass in the accursed thing, for Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed thing. And the anger of the Lord was kindled.
Here come the Judites, taking of the accursed thing. Read.
Not listening. Of Yahweh was kindled against the children of Israel. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, Bethaven on the east of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, Go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai. And they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few. So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men, for they chased them from before the gate.
So the Hamites is getting over on us in this instance, right? Go ahead.
Even unto Shebarim, and smote them in the going down, wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until the eventide. He and the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Yahweh, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us?
So now they're like, man, why are we losing now? They Ham whooping our ass. Yeah. You brought us over here to lose? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Remember, that's the same thing we were saying when we got out of Egypt. You just bring us over here to kill us? It says,
just no faith. Go ahead.
To deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us? Would to God we had been content and dwelt on the other side Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies? For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it, and shall environ us around, and cut off our name from the earth. And what wilt thou do unto thy great name? And Yahweh said unto Joshua, Get thee up. Wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? He said, Get your ass up. Why are you laying down like that? Verse 11. Israel has sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen, and dissembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turn their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you.
So that's why we lost. All the times we lost, it was because we have an accursed thing. We were lacking faith. That's why we was coming up with L's there. If we wouldn't have took the accursed thing, or we would have had faith like we were supposed to, as a grain of a mustard seed, then guess what? There wouldn't be no such thing as a Canaanite. There wouldn't be a thing. But niggas want to play games. So now we got to deal with a Canaanite, right? Go ahead.
Because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you anymore, except you destroy the accursed from among you. Verse 18 or 13. Up, sanctify the people, and say, Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow. For thus saith the Lord God of Israel, There is an accursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel. Thou canst not stand before thine enemies until ye take away the accursed thing from among you. In the morning, therefore, ye shall be brought according to your tribes, and it shall be that the tribe which the Lord taketh shall come according to the families thereof, and the family which Yahweh shall take shall come by households, and the household which Yahweh shall take shall come man by man. And it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire.
So now we do it with, now the Most High is calling for a search, right? Then now we got to do a damn raid on everybody's house and find out tribe by tribe and find out who got the accursed thing and who making us lose. Of course, it's Judah. Go ahead. Of course, it's just you niggas, man. Go ahead.
It's not
It's not surprising,
yeah,
that it's the Judites.
Yeah.
Judah, y'all got to get it together, man. Go ahead.
Judah.
Go ahead.
It says, and the family which the Lord shall take. Okay, and it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire, he and all that he hath, because he hath transgressed the covenant of Yahweh, and because he hath wrought folly in Israel. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought the family of Judah, and he took the family. So did the Lord tell him that it was Judah? Or did he just have an inclination that it was the tribe of Judah?
I don't know. That's cool.
So Joshua rose up early in the morning.
Hey, look, Judah getting mad. Judah getting mad in the damn chat, man. Hey, look at you niggas. Look what y'all doing, man. Go ahead.
So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken.
You right. The priests did bad things too, man. And we are older brothers, so it's more responsibility put on us. But y'all, man, listen, y'all screw up tribe.
Badass little brother.
That's the relationship with Levi and Judah. Y'all are a badass little brother, man. Go ahead.
Come on. Just bad, man. It says, and he brought the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zarhites, and he brought the family of the Zarhites, man by man, and Zabdi was taken. And he brought his household man by man, and Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah was taken. And Joshua said unto Achan, My son, give, I pray thee, glory to Yahweh of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done.
Yeah. The call, you know what I'm saying? Just tell it. Give it up, right? Read on.
Hide it not from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, Indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel.
It was me, right? It's verse 48. Joshua got Judah on verse 48. Damn, man, it was me, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. And thus have I done. After this and this, verse 21. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment.
A what?
A Babylonish garment.
See that? That love for the Babylonian garment. We see the spiritual application of that now. The Babylonian garment, we know a garment is what covers you on a spiritual level, right? We know we're spiritually in Babylon. So it's talking about the lust for certain Judites to conform to the American ideology, right? That's the spiritual application, if you can see on that level. But the initial application, of course, he saw a garment that's from Babylon and the nigga wanted it, right? Oftentimes, a Babylonian garment will have what? Idolatry on it, things of that nature. Like, remember the Negro that came by? He had Marduk on his back? That nigga, something like that, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. A Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a weight of gold of 50 shekels weight.
And he stole some of that. That was all supposed to go to the treasury of Yahweh. Here this nigga want to go. He want to put some of that in his pocket, right? Read on.
And then I coveted them and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, in the silver under.
I dug a hole for this. He buried a treasure, man. Listen, this a Judite. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Joshua sent, he's probably from Atlanta too. In the
reincarnation.
So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua, and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Lord turned from his fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achor unto this day.
Go ahead.
Trouble, Valley of Trouble. Joshua chapter 8.
Yeah, we're going into 8. We finishing 8, and that's it. Go ahead.
Okay. Joshua chapter 8, verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Joshua, Fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and arise. Go up to Ai. See, I have given into thy hand the king of Ai and his people.
Now we got to go back into Ai and kill these niggas, because we couldn't get the job done the first time, and we done lost a few men. Right?
Well,
a few good men.
Get back. Gang.
Yes, get back gang. Or, the other one. The other one I'd rather say, but we're not going to say, but, the SSG rather than the Get Back Gang, right? Well, go ahead.
And his people, and his city, and his land. And thou shalt do unto Ai and her king as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall ye take for a prey.
Same thing. Don't be getting their garments and all that. Get the spoil and the cattle. Read.
Yeah, no, I always say too a lot of times, how can you read the book of Joshua and tell me God loves everybody? we had to we had to kill a man.
Listen, genocide.
The Lord had 36 of us killed because we didn't kill and pillage the way that he ordered us to. No,
literally.
What happened?
We didn't commit the level of genocide and robbery that was satisfactory to him.
Yeah. So God is gangster.
No, Kazaki, Levi built a golden calf at the commandment of Judah. Understand that. Why do you think Aaron was never a sin was never requited to Aaron for that? All right, because it was you other tribes that put him up to it. That was put on y'all. That's why we went and killed 3,000 of the other tribes.
Who's on the Lord's side?
All right.
Who rose up?
Us,
the
tribe of Levi. Where were you niggas? Okay,
the
go
other
ahead.
tribes were not on God's side.
All right, y'all was hiding. Y'all was playing basketball. I don't know what y'all was doing.
Remember when Moses came down, they thought it was he heard a sound of war. That's how much y'all other tribes are partying. And listen, everybody was back there, man. Selena,
right. Cardi B was back there. Aaliyah was back there.
Cardi B and Lil Jon. Imagine that.
Listen, Cardi B, Lil Jon. Beanie Man, the king of the dance hall. All right, it was going down.
Rihanna
and Rihanna was there. I'm talking about it was. And guess what? And Levi, we went and we killed.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. Joshua chapter 8 verse 2. And thou shalt do unto Ai and her king as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall ye take for a prey unto yourselves. Lay thee in ambush for the city behind it. We're supposed to ambush. We got commanded to ambush. Verse 3, So Joshua arose and all the people of war to go up against Ai. And Joshua chose out 30,000 mighty men of valor and sent them away by night. And he commanded them, saying, Behold, ye shall lie in wait against the city, even behind the city. Go not very far from the city, but be ye all ready. And I and all the people that are with me will approach unto the city. And it shall come to pass, when they come out against us, as at the first, that we will flee before them. For they will come after us till we have drawn them from the city. For they will say, They flee before us, as at the first. Therefore will we flee before them. Oh, they're getting set up. Then ye shall rise up from the ambush and seize upon the city, for the Lord your God will deliver it into your hand. And it shall be, when ye have taken the city, that ye shall set the city on fire, according to the commandment of Yahweh shall ye do. See, I have commanded you. Joshua therefore sent them forth, and they went to lie in ambush in a boat between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. And Joshua rose up early in the morning, and numbered the people, and went up, he and the elders of Israel, before the people to Ai. And all the people, even the people of war that were with him, went up and drew nigh, and came before the city, and pitched on the north of Ai. Now there was a valley between them and Ai.
And if you know, in ancient times, like in all of antiquity, the key place for a battle to take place is a valley. Like you have people coming in on one side, and you just rush in that valley and meet right in the middle and just bang it out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
And he took about 5,000 men and set them to lie in ambush between Bethel and Ai on the west side of the city. And when they had set the people, even all the host that was on the north of the city, and their liers in wait on the west of the city, Joshua went that night into the midst of the valley. And it came to pass when the king of Ai saw it, that they hasted and rose up early, and the men of the city went out against Israel to battle, he and all his people, at a time appointed before the plain. But he was not, that there were liers in ambush against him behind the city. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness. Yeah, we acted like we were fleeing from him. That's what's going on here, brothers and sisters. We're pretending to run away from him, but then we got goons waiting to ambush them and lie in wait and burn the city. Okay, verse 15. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them, and they pursued after Joshua, and were drawn away from the city. And there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel that went not out after Israel. And they left the city open and pursued after Israel.
So they left the door open to come and chase us, right? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Joshua, stretch out the spear that is in thy hand toward Ai, for I will give it into thine hand. And Joshua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city. And the ambush arose quickly out of their place, and they ran as soon as he had stretched out his hand, and they entered into the city, and took it, and hasted, and set the city on fire. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended up to heaven, and they had no power to flee this way or that way.
So they were stuck, right, Reed?
And the people that fled to the wilderness turned back upon the pursuers. And so that means the people that were acting like we were running away started running towards them. Verse 21. And when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned again and slew the men of Ai. And the other issued out of the city against them, so they were in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side, and they smote them, so that they let none of them remain or escape. And the king of Ai they took alive, and brought him to Joshua. And it came to pass, when Israel had made an end of slaying all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, in the wilderness, wherein they chased them, and when they were all fallen on the edge of the sword, until they were consumed, that all the Israelites returned unto Ai, and smote it with the edge of the sword. And so it was that all that fell that day, both the men and women, were 12,000, even all the men of Ai. So Joshua drew not his hand
back. So we
back,
killed 12,000 people that day, right? Read on.
Wherewith he stretched out the spear until he had utterly destroyed all the inhabitants of Ai. So he sat there with his spear until we killed everybody. Only the cattle and the spoil of the city Israel took for a prey unto themselves, according unto the word of the Yahweh.
There you go.
Which he commanded Joshua. And Joshua burnt Ai, and made it in heap forever, even a desolation unto this day.
So we didn't go back and live up in there, right? We left that as a heap, right? Go ahead.
And the king of Ai he hanged on a tree until eventide. And as soon as the sun was down, Joshua commanded that they should take his carcass down from the tree, and cast it at the entering of the gate of the city, and raise thereon a great heap of stones that remaineth unto this day. Then Joshua built an altar unto the Lord God of Israel in Mount Abal, as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded the children of Israel, as is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of whole stones, over which no man hath lifted up any iron. And they offered thereon burnt offerings unto the Lord, and sacrificed peace offerings. And he wrote there upon the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. And all Israel, and their elders, and officers, and their judges, stood on this side in the ark, and on that side before the priests, the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, as well the strangers as he that was born among them, half of them over against Mount Gerizim, and half of them over Mount Abal, as Moses the servant of the Lord had commanded before.
So yeah, 6 tribes would go to Gerizim, and 6 tribes would go to Abal. I believe. So like I used to have a book, man, an old like not a concordance, but it was a like an encyclopedia, old ass biblical encyclopedia I got from my grandma, and used to have all the information about Gerizim and Abal. But go ahead.
It says, as Moses the servant of the Lord had commanded
Hold
before.
on. What's up? Somebody can't hear the sound? Our sound good?
They put a 1 in the chat if you can hear us. Type of 1 if you can hear us. Put uno. They should be able to hear us. I don't know why they wouldn't. No?
It might just be that person.
Yeah, turn your head. Yeah, our sound.
Yeah, we good. We good. Okay, all praise. Yeah, it's not a game. I don't know what you got to do. Well, go ahead.
It says, and afterward, it says, as Moses the servant of the Lord had commanded before, that they should bless the people of Israel. It says, and afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessings and cursings, according to all that is written in the book of the law.
So he's reading over Deuteronomy 28 as a warning, showing you that we're supposed to be reading this to our people, right? Read on.
There was not a word of all that Moses commanded, which Joshua read not before all the congregation of Israel.
So he read that all at the law of Moses. Go ahead.
With the women and the little ones and the strangers.
Everyone heard it. The women and the kids, they need to hear this too. Everyone needs to understand it. That's how you have a culture. Men just can't get the instructions. Women and children, it's a culture, right? Read on.
That were conversing among them.
That was it on that. All right, with that, we're going to wrap up. We're going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Christ, Yahweh Shai. Tune in for Most High Will. We'll have Situation Room tomorrow. So, shalom.